Well, this video shouldn't take very long. And finally, I've got something useful for you. Besides just information or motivation, I wanted to actually give a couple of what I call radiation hacks. You may hear I'm a little nasally. We worked on my lymphedema a lot yesterday. And it's got me a little bit nasally, so I apologize for that. It's kind of one of those side effects. If you're not there yet, you'll see what I mean later. Anyways, there's two very cool radiation hacks I want to give you. Now, this is more for dealing with some of the symptoms that are coming. If we haven't already discussed with the ointments and what to do as far as the skincare, check the CSN page. There's a whole bunch of information there. It has to deal with aloe, coconut oil, and your aquifer. I'll do a video on that here in the not too distant future. I'll probably actually get some and do it for you. Even though I don't need it anymore, I'll show you what the process is. But there's several side effects. Now, I went through TORS too, the surgery to remove the lymph nodes inside here. And actually, that was a radical neck dissection. The TORS was to remove my tonsil, which where they literally take a soldering iron, a robotic soldering iron, and cut or cauterize the bad skin right out of my neck. It was pretty painful for some days. We'll do a video on that too if you're thinking about TORS surgery, so you have an idea what I went through and what you might be able to expect based upon your situation. But after the TORS surgery, I had this nasal tube, which was uncomfortable, to say the least. It wasn't painful, it was uncomfortable, constantly uncomfortable. I couldn't blow my nose. I couldn't breathe in through my nose. I couldn't really do much with my nose, except for just let it do whatever it wanted to do. If it wanted to get dry, it got dry. If it wanted to drip, I had to deal with the drip. And I couldn't itch it. If I felt like I had some obstacle in there, I wasn't able to get it. I could not do anything with my nose except for deal with this tube. There was a thread tied around my septum and on the other side, so it was secure in my nose. Because of that, I got very dry, especially early on when I was trying not to breathe out of my mouth because my throat hurt so badly. And I learned something, and I used this throughout the entire process. I used this from mid-December all the way through end of February and into a little bit in March, constantly. I kept a little jar of water, or a little container of water. I had this, I had a plastic container, whatever. Small amount of water, you don't need much. And a bunch of Q-tips, handy, over on a nightstand or wherever I could reach very easily. And I would do nothing more than dip that Q-tip in there and wet my nose as needed. You can reuse it if you want, it's your nose. If you don't want to reuse it, flip to the other side the next time. If I would have reused all of my Q-tips, I would have gone through several hundred during that period of time. All up to you. How long you keep your water? Up to you. I left mine for a day or two and then I'd empty it. It wasn't that I got it really dirty. I just, particles in the air and stuff falling into it. But that's a matter of personal preference. The hack is getting the moisture into the snout, wherever you want it. That's the hack. Q-tips, water. Simple as pie. And cheap. Hack number 2. I thought about this a lot while I was going through it, and I wished I would have started doing this much earlier. I didn't start doing this until probably my last 2 weeks or so, and I really should have done it earlier. During the process between TORS and radiation, both of those processes will cause a person to have a very dry throat, and the throat to actually hurt. And one of the problems with that is going to sleep. Because what happens a lot when you go to sleep, think about when you've had the flu or something where your nose was congested. You went to sleep, and you woke up, and your throat was super dry and super painful. It went away after you started eating or drinking or salivating or whatever throughout the morning. But that's how you wake up, right? And since I was trying to sleep 20 some hours a day, I got this surgical tape. I think I got it from Amazon. It actually tears off in like 2-inch strips like that. It was pretty cheap. This is called Medipore, M-E-D-I-P-O-R-E, by 3M Company. Medipore H. Anyway, it's not very big, as you can see here. But I would take a piece of this, I would tighten my lips together, and literally tighten my mouth shut. Like that. And that would stop my mouth from opening while I was sleeping in the middle of the night. Sometimes I had to put 2 on. I like to reuse these because, again, I didn't know how long this was going to last. So I could make one of these last a couple of days. After it starts losing its adhesive, it comes off easier. As my wife would want to try to talk to me, I would try to answer her. I would loosen it up because, just like I was talking to you a moment ago, I would mumble whatever I could mumble out. And so it would start to loosen up and then fall off. But this little piece of tape over my mouth would stop me from having that super dry mouth in the morning. It wouldn't eliminate it all the way because there's reactions in the body that are happening. And of course, if you have a stuffy nose, it certainly won't work. I never had a stuffy nose through the process, so that wasn't a problem for me. But to tell you what, that little piece of tape saved me a lot of hassle in my neck, and it could for you too. So, Q-tip and water, cheap tape over the mouth. And some people might even appreciate the tape over the mouth after it's over. Keep that in mind. Don't get too used to it. And now you have Don, Beagle Dad's radiation hacks. Have a good day. Never ever give up. And good luck through whatever treatment you're dealing with.